The best arc in the series? Yeah, that's this one. I mean, if you've watched any of my videos for a while, should be a pretty obvious answer. If you just want to know the answer, then you can leave now. The rest of the video will just be hyping up on why this is the greatest arc. I'll break into four major parts from power, characters, themes, and nitpicks or other compliments I may have. This arc has a lot of strong fighters and they are extreme balanced, or at least they feel like it. Other than the gods, I feel like a lot of people can just make a difference. For me, this is the big five. I will put Melis at the top because of the consistency and Wiltshire at the Gopher at the very bottom. And these three are in between. But I think you can put them in any order and it will kind of make sense. And if you take any two of them out and put them in 1v1, they can win on a good day, but it will just still be very close. And everyone saw how Wiltshire Gopher literally shaped the world into his own liking. Also, there are people that can shift the tides of the battle, like Sora and Tarmio, who are considered to be one or maybe two tiers below the top five, if they're working together, that is. People from other races like Gloxina and Drow, even other people like Zeldris and the original demon, who didn't really participate in the war for whatever reason, can cause a lot of headaches for everyone else. And this obviously includes members of the Ten Commandments. Members carrying two of them heavily damage the balance. Members that can go into indoor forms like Mosby and Derry are very valuable, but this is not to say that others don't matter, because they do. One of the worst members of Galan was putting in work in the war. This arc just feels very delicate because any decision from any person could shake up the balance of the war, which makes a lot of sense considering the Demon King's and Supreme's deity desire of balance. If you haven't realized, I'm a big rueduciel fan, so if you don't want me to talk about it for the 3,400 and 700 time, then skip to the time I put on the screen. But anyways, what a character debut. Not only is this guy insanely fucked up, but Nagaba quickly established what kind of person he is. In merely 10-ish chapters, mind you, and here's what we really know about him from this. He is sadistic and clearly thinks he's better than anyone else. Honestly, that sounds like an evil Escanor, except he fucking loses. He's very powerful. Probably the best soldier and military leader in the series, and I don't think he's in contest for second. Even when someone dislikes his action, they still have to respect him because of his importance on the team. He's not reckless and no one wants to back up. Like, he could have kicked the shit out of Gaussian and Drill, but he didn't because he knows when to back off. So what we learned is that this guy is a problem. Not only does he bring strength to the table, he also brings a lot of intangibles that make him the most valuable member of Stigma. Elizabeth honestly surprised me in this arc, and I would say that this is peak Elizabeth. She's a person that's willing to fight for what's right even though it is impossible and foolish. Rita still constantly ridicules her for it, and most probably even Elizabeth herself is aware of this. And she's not some pushover that will keep stepping back. She wants peace, but she will fight you if she needs to. Also, she feels powerful but not broken. This is pretty clear when she fought the Indorus. Glossina was also great. Learning how he became a member of the Ten Commandments was a good... Oh, so that's why. Well, it's nice. It was a pretty neat idea of combining flashback with a training arc. Too bad Droll is always kind of under Glossina's shadow, but this is mostly Glossina being more expressive than Droll is. Also, like that Melis was not the most important character in this arc. Wait, hold up. I know this sounds crazy, but hear me out. I know he's still very important. His betrayal of the two members and his strength already makes him one of the most important pieces in the war. I just don't think he's the most important. He seems to be mostly following Elizabeth for the majority of the arc. This is nice because we finally get to see Elizabeth being a big voice in the arc rather than her just being in the backlines, like for most of the series. And of course, how can I forget about this guy? Like, people can hate on Dog Gopher, but you cannot hate this guy. I think it is mutually agreed on by the majority of the community that this guy is the weakest of the big five. But holy shit, like, look at the effects he made in the series. Other fighters are just lucky that this guy only appears in flashbacks. The best survivor in the series is Rudos and Elizabeth. Sorry, it is not your typical overrated answer of Melis and Bond, which is still good. I'm just sitting on you guys. It is a variety that explores a lot further than your typical topics. In short, it is Rudos being realistic while Elizabeth being optimistic. If you're sprinting through the chapters, I can see why you would find it boring or just not care. Because Elizabeth is peace while Rudos is kind of anti-peace. While this is not necessarily false, it is a lot more than that. It is between two very stubborn individuals that understand the other person's perspective, but they also are forced to work together. I have taught this in another video, so check out the description if you want a more detailed version of it. I just think this is one of the better parts of the story, and I feel like people either gloss over it or don't want to appreciate it because Rudeso is not a fan favorite character. Newsflash, you can hate a character and still appreciate some aspects of them. Okay, after shitting on people, like their perspective and opinions, I do think the idea of war is pointless was really well done through just one chapter. It's chapter 213, and the more we read it, the more I appreciate it. In short, it is a pointless revenge from people that hold a grudge. That's honestly kind of it. So they kill people that they don't even know. It does its job well. Because to be fair, the battles between characters that are like it's between characters that are pretty fucking relevant. Like you don't know these people, you probably don't care. Even if you want to say that realistic Loxy now, he is a side character at best. So I'm impressed at how well it delivers the message of revenge and wars are pretty fucking pointless and don't let revenge take over. I talked about this before, but I like how balanced the war felt. If that means that like anyone can make a difference and it can make it very unpredictable. I think the end was cringe as fuck in this arc, and if there's something that I really dislike about this arc, it'll be this by far. I also think the original demon not appearing at all feels pretty weird. I think it's like this because the demon masters are not fully created yet from a narrator's standpoint. This arc was fucking crazy, and so was the rest of season 3. Like anything could explode at any moment, and it's insane that Maya was not even present and he is still a factor worth considering. Also, I think this arc being this mysterious is a blessing and a curse. It does a good job of explaining a lot of questions the readers had, but also raises a lot more, which means that if you were interested enough to care, let's just say not all of them were answers. Please, I want a movie based on it, please.